So here we are, folks. Good morning. Coffee in hand. I think it's about 6 a.m. Wednesday morning. So yesterday we had a little adventure. I got up yesterday morning and said, you know what I need to do today? I need to see something naked. So in the Prius we go. We head down to a southerly locale that will remain nameless. And I had some fun with some ladies down there. And these ladies all know me now, and I don't have to pay a cover charge. And they all waved to me when I left and said, "Oh, come back soon." So, okay, I'll have to do that. So I'm cruising home, and I took the Prius because you just set the cruising on whatever, and it follows the next guy. All you have to do is kind of steer and daydream, blah, 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 blah. And once I get out of the place, I'm like, I don't another place. So I'm okay. So I'm buzzing home. It's really cold. It's starting to be 110, 120 below zero. So I'm coming up to that bridge at Smith Mountain Lake, and I see this car in like a parking lot by that marina there with the trunk up, and it looks like there's somebody in it. So I go over the bridge, and I'm like, let me loop back. So I loop back, and so she's got a flat tire. It's really flat, right rear. So I pull up next to her, and she can't. Nobody knows how these cars work. It's a Lexus, so she can't figure out how to get down the passenger window, and I can't go on the other side because there's like railroad ties and grass there. It's kind of like a parking lot that's grown over. So she finally gets the window down, and I go, "Do you need help?" She goes, "Well, I called AAA, and they're not gonna come for 2.5 hours." So I'm like, "Oh shit, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence in AAA because I have AAA." So I said, "Well, do you want help?" So she goes, "Yeah." So I said, "Well, I can't really do it, but I said maybe me and you could do it together." So it's a shitty jack, shitty lug wrench. These cars, they don't really expect people to change the tires themselves. They expect some guy to come out there and change it. So the jack's worth shit, and the thing that turns the jack is even shittier. So she's working the jack, and I said, "All right, let's try to get the lugs off." So I put the lug wrench on, and I tell her, "Step on the lug wrench." So she's stepping on it, like, right by the lug. So I grab her ankle, and I put it down farther where you get the most leverage. So she's like, "Oh, okay." So she steps on it. We crack all the lugs, and there's a fucking wheel key. Like, why these people put these things on? Nobody's going to steal your tires and wheels here. So I'm like, "Well, do you have the key?" And she's like, "The key?" I said, "You need the key to get this lug off, or else AAA won't even be able to help you. You have to get it towed to a dealer." So she's looking for the key, and the key happened to be in the lug set, where the lug wrench and the jack was put. So I'm like, okay, that's good. So I said, I'm going to take this lug off, and I'm not going to put it back on. So she had 5 lugs, so she had put 4 lugs on. So she jacks up the car, and we get the tire changed, put the tire in the trunk, and she's like, "Oh my," and the tire was like, she must have hit something on the inside. So she said she went off the road, and it was ripped to shit. So she goes, "My husband's going to kill me." I said, he'll get over it, So we put the tire on, and I said, "Go get yourself a floor jack, that comes in a box, and you can just put it in the kit there and everything." So she's like, "Oh, okay." So put the tire back on, and I follow her home, and she's like, she wants to give me money. I'm like, no, no, no. So the moral of the story is that I'm trying to put forth to you guys out there in the GarageTalk Plaza land. If you go and look at naked ladies and you see one that's broken down on the way home, you have to stop. Even if you didn't look at naked ladies, you see somebody on the side of the road that is a female persuasion, you have to stop. Don't give me any shit on this because you have to stop. If it's a guy, you can stop if you want to. But if it's a lady, you have to stop. So Stay tuned. Thanks. Give us a like.